hot out, and these bluegill ain't biting. Who wants to go get something to eat?
I do. Sounds like a good idea.
Didn't you forget something?
No. It's too hot to wear a helmet.
Now, son, sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do in order to be safe. Now, let's put your helmet on. Now, go put your bike up. Hey, boss, where you been hiding?
I was checking the shelter. Night shift moved it up last night.
Shelter. I never will get in that thing.
Yeah. Well, I bet if you ever need it, you'll be in a hurry.
We'll see.
Well, either way, when you get done here, you need to move to 6.
All right.
I'm gonna go check on the bolt crew and see what they got left.
All right. I'm sure they're laying down over there.
Yeah, they probably are. Hey, Tim. I see you guys are done number 6.
Yeah, got her bolted up tight. We backed up here, pack up a few supplies, and need us about a dinner before we head on over to 5.
I hear you, bud. Hey, speaking of dinner, April ever sent any more of that peach cobbler?
Send no peach cobbler, but I got plenty of apple pie.
Man. Buddy, I don't know why a girl treats you so good, but I don't mind reaping some of the benefits.
She's a pretty good old gal, but when you gonna bring some pie out?
Hey, man, you've had my wife's cooking.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, man, I'll see you after a while.
All right, see you, man.
Hey, Jim, listen. I need you to go get the first aid boxes and push the panic button on your tracking system so they know that we have an emergency underground.
Okay.
Hey, Tim, listen. I need you over here in number 1. Tim, I need you in number 1 right now. We have an emergency. Hey, Tim, listen. I need you to call outside. Tim, step out of it. We've cut into water, and I need you to call outside and let them know. Let the rest of the crew know what we got going on.
Outside. We've cut into water number 1. James is on the ground. He's hurt. I'll holler back at you as soon as I know more.
What's going on, Jim? They cut into an old mine up there and there's water pouring in the mines.
Is everybody okay?
He said James was hurt. They're going to get him to safety. Holler back just as soon as they find out what's going on.
Okay, let's go ahead and get our emergency response plan out. Start contacting everybody we need to. MSHA, state, company officials, mine rescue. Okay?
Okay.
Orville, you holler underground and start getting everybody out. And let's go ahead and print us off at last known location of all the employees.
Will do. All right.
All right, guys, listen. We need to get James on a man trip as quick as we can. Hello, outside. Hey, listen, we still got water pouring in here. We got James on a stretcher. We're carrying him to the man trip. We're going to bring him out the secondary escapeway right now.
That's what we got. You said his section was flooding. It's got to be into that old mines.
It's been showing about a week, moisture coming in, it's been wet, the coal's been soft, and the evidence is there that we're advancing our works.
Well, if they've hit water, it'll probably come back and hit this dip.
Guys, if that water gets in them electrical boxes, we'll lose our underground power.
What about our tracking communications?
All right, guys. Let's get him out of here.
Jeremy, have you contacted everybody?
Yeah, I got a hold of the state and federal, talked to Ronnie, the mine rescue team's on their way. We got an ambulance coming.
Okay, good. I bet the underground power just knocked.
We just lost our tracking, communications, and monitoring too.
That's not good.
Hello, outside. Outside. Hello, outside. Guys, our roadway's blocked due to this dip. We need to go check our intake and our return to see if they're clear. Jim, you and Tony, go to the intake and see what we got. I'm gonna take Mark with me and see if the return's clear. The rest of you guys go back to the man trip and check on James.
What happened to the power?
All we know right now is that one right section is cut into that old mines, and they're reporting a lot of water coming out of the face. What I think is probably made it down to the dip and gotten that power center. So right now we need to be looking at getting power back as close as we can to that point, and trying to get some pumps involved and trying to get some of this water off of it.
We have a box about 10 breaks out by that. If that's the case, then that shouldn't be a problem getting power restored back to that point.
Okay, what about pumps?
All we have right now are two 15 horsepower pumps. We probably need to get some bigger ones on the way.
Okay, Arvel, what about water line?
I've got some water lines stored underground.
We need to be thinking about who we would want to do that, some competent people. And Jamie, we need to see about, from the power box out by, maybe hooking up a DB box to power these pumps, and how close and how much cable we need to get there.
Okay.
First of all, let's get on our fan and our substation, monitor those, and Arvel, have somebody monitor the return airways, so get some readings.
We probably got black damp coming down the return, so you stay on the clear air side and I'll go in and check and see what we got.
Just be careful.
The return's blocked by water too in the dip, and I'm getting low O2 in there. Hello, outside. Outside. Outside, outside. Let's get back to the other guys.
So how'd that return look?
It's blocked by water in the dip. How's the intake?
It's blocked by water too.
Our methane levels are coming up and our oxygen is still dropping.
Guys, all of our entries are blocked by water in the dip. Methane's rising and our oxygen levels are dropping. It's only gonna get worse as the water pours in from that old mine. Hello, outside. Outside. Hello, outside, 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 outside. Guys, there's no way out.
What we gonna do now, boss?
Refuge chamber?
It looks like that's our only option.
Oh no, you're not getting me in that thing.
Hey, nobody wants to get in that
Dave,
thing.
I'm telling you, I'm not getting in it.
James, do you want to see your family again? Do you want to watch Sawyer grow up? Sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do in order to be safe.
Sometimes we have to do
It's
things
too
that we don't
hot
want
to
to
wear
do.
a
Sometimes we
hoodie.
have to do things. Now let's put your helmet on in order to be safe.
Guys, our oxygen's still dropping. It's time to make a decision.
All right, let's get in the chamber.
Guys, we have great mine rescue teams. They're gonna get in here, they're gonna pump the water, they're gonna get us out quick. Everybody make sure you grab your rescuers. James, I have yours. Let's go deploy this chamber.
Freshwater lines to the surface and also inaccessible borehole.
Okay. Hello, Ronnie, Marvin, Tim. Since the last time we talked, we have lost our power, tracking, and communications. What we know is that we've got 7 men unaccounted for. We have breached in the number 1 entry into the old mines. We've got a lot of water rushing in. The last communication from the section foreman is telling us that the section is flooding.
According to the computer records, license on tracking, they were in by the dip on one right, and we do have the rest of the men outside. They've been evacuated and physically checked out on the check-in board.
What we think is they're trying to get down the secondary escapeway. They do have 1 man injured. We don't know how bad, but with that, we do have a lot of water coming in. Tell them about our elevations, Trev.
But looking at the elevations, it looks like the water comes in 1 and 2, runs over a crest into a dip. It also looks like there's enough open space for air to flow through. It also seems as if these guys should be in high ground.
Right now with power, Jamie's come up with a plan.
Okay, what we're gonna do on that, we've got a roadway transformer in this spot. I'm gonna disconnect the high voltage cable going in by that and isolate it. I'm gonna run a DV box from this point up to the water hole, and we're gonna pump from there, which Arvil just said that they had 4 pumps coming, and this box only has 2 breakers on it, so I'm gonna have to put 2 more panels in, which I should be able to have that done before the pumps get here.
Okay, with your mine rescue, how many guys you got?
We have 3 teams that's headed this way, and they should be here very shortly. And also, we have 3 other teams that will be here very shortly also.
What about your Tim and Marvin, your agencies?
The Mine Safety and Health Administration has support personnel en route for the help with the rescue operation.
Thank you. Tim?
The Division of Mine Safety, we have our support personnel also en route and our mine rescue teams.
We need to get started. What are we going to have to do on the safety side, Mitch?
We're gonna have to get together an action plan, Tim and Marvin. If you guys would step into my office, we'll put us together an action plan, and we've cut into that, we think, and we're concerned about black dam, so time is of essence.
Let's get started.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, Ronnie. We got both Maxim teams are here. Southern Kentucky team just pulled in behind us. So we got 3 teams here. I got Jerry outside getting all the guys' stuff together. They're getting their gear on. Whenever you're ready for us, we'll be ready to go.
Just let them get ready, and then what I want you to do today too, if you would, is to coordinate our efforts there in the fresh air base for us,
Okay.
and we'll have a briefing with the teams as soon as we get ready for that.
We'll do it anything.
All right, thank you, bud.
Right here, guys. You bring the table. Is team good? Let's gather up. Everything's loaded. Let's go get our briefing.
What just happened? We couldn't have that old man?
Yeah, and we're getting some black damp coming in.
Wonder how low it's getting, Mark.
Yeah, Dave, you want me to get us a gas reading outside?
Yeah, buddy, go ahead and do it for us.
Dave, what exactly is in black damp?
Well, you got some carbon dioxide and low oxygen and some other gases you definitely don't want to be breathing.
We're down to 16% now. Does anybody know what we had when we came in?
It was around 19.
Still dropping.
So how long you think it'll take that rescue team to get here?
It'll take a while. You see how much water was coming in here? We got a lot of water to pump.
How about you, Tim? You doing okay?
just a little excited, but I'll be all right.
Here you go, bud. Have a drink of water.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man, did you ever get into that apple pie?
Guys, appreciate you all showing up today and helping us through this mine emergency. And I'm going to discuss their briefing of where we're at with our emergency, and also we'll discuss our approved rescue and recovery action plan. Our one right section apparently has cut into the abandoned mine adjacent to us. The last word we had from Dave Green and his 6-man crew were that they were traveling down the secondary escapeway and trying to get out of the mine. We do know that our miner operator was hurt in the event in the inundation, and we do have a lot of water coming in from the old mine. We fear also that with the water that we will have some black damp. Our entries are in number 1 and 2 are intake entries. The primary escapeway is in the number 1 entry. The number 3 entry is our secondary escapeway, our belt number 4. Our number 5 and 6 are return entries. We have a refuge chamber located here. It is in by the dip. One thing we are concerned about is we do have a dip in this area, and the way our elevations show, we are afraid that this will block or possibly roof with water. We do have a blowing fan, which we do have positive pressure headed toward the old mine, but also our fan water gauge is higher than what it normally was, so we're very concerned that we're getting blocked in our airways, and we're afraid that our water is getting roofed. That is a big concern. And also, we've lost our communications, we've lost our power, tracking, monitoring systems due to the water, and we feel that this water in this area has made that possible. With Dave's experience and responsible person training, as well as his mine rescue training, we know Dave will make every effort he can to try to get to the outside. But at last resort, we feel the refuge chamber is in a safe place because due to our dip area, we feel that if this area does roof, that it will pour out by, because due to elevations, we do not feel that it's going to be a danger of going in by and affecting our refuge chamber area. Looking at some of our points here for our approved plan, we have 3 teams now on site, and we'll have 2 of the teams traveling underground. One will be exploring, the other one will be at the fresh air base as a backup, and we'll leave 1 team here on the surface. We also have 3 other teams on the way, and they should be here shortly. We want you to first reestablish our communication system with both hard lines, and what we're going to also establish a fresh air base. Now, we have doors here at the 91st crosscut, and this is out by what we would call the dip area, where we think this would be a safe area. And what we would want to do is establish a fresh air base that would be approximately 3 breaks out by what we think would be the water area. We want you to notify us when you get to the 91st crosscut, and after you establish communications to the fresh air base. You'll be taking some emergency ventilation equipment with you. We want you to explore up to the water, which you possibly could find roofed. And in doing that, we will also be concerned about our ventilation and stalling our fan. What we're going to ask you to do is to keep the intake open to where we can get as much air as possible in by to Dave and his crew, as well as also short-circuiting some of the air so we can satisfy our fan and allow it to go to the return and keep it ventilated. Once we come through the doors and we take gas readings and we determine where our water levels are and where we can and can't go, and determine that this area is clear, we will go in. We'll also build temporary stoppings across our number 3 and 4 entries so that any of the black damp or air from the section cannot come back down the roadway and contaminate our secondary escapeway. And this will allow some air to go to the section and block our secondary escapeway and neutral entries, and allow the air to short circuit over to a return and go out. After you explore and clear the area out by the water, it will send other personnel and equipment to help you start preparations to pump the water, and we'll pump in the number 3 entry. We'll connect 2 pump discharge lines into our 8-inch water supply line to drain to the surface, and we'll send electricians to disconnect the high voltage and isolate the power so that we can get our pumps going. We'll be using these 2 doors, like I said, here at the 91st crosscut to allow to split our ventilation to try to keep positive pressure toward the section as well as satisfying our return. You know, guys, thanks again for everything that you've done and showing up today at this emergency, and you know, be safe. May God be with you. Let's try to get our miners out safe, and then thanks again.
Jim, did I tell you that band Caleb's playing in? They're going to Nashville next week to make a CD.
Oh man, that's awesome. What day are they leaving?
I think it's Thursday or Friday. Might be the same day that Carly's leaving for Moorhead.
I mean, she's actually leaving tomorrow. She got that scholarship from the Kentucky State Governor.
That's cool.
At four-wheeler, I got Sawyer. Man, he loves that thing. Took him out to the lake this weekend. He was tearing it up.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it.
Isabella went to the principal's office again yesterday.
Hey guys, I'm not feeling very well.
Yeah, I've got a bad headache.
Guys, we got 20.8 oxygen and no carbon dioxide.
Guys, we really need to conserve our lights, our water, and our food. Let's just burn one light at a time. We can start with mine.
Hello, Command Center.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got all 6 entries blocked with almost roofed with water. We've established a fresh air base. Both teams are present. We've got a hard line with a phone to it. We built temporary stoppings in number 3 and number 4. An airlock just in by 3. Section ventilations. You got 32.5 in intake, 13.5 across number 1, number 2 entries.
Okay.
I got gas readings for you.
All right, go ahead.
1 through 4, 20.8 O2. 0% CH4. Number 5 entry, 16.4% O2. 0% CH4.
All right.
Number 6 entry, 16.2% O2. 0.2 CH4.
Hey, Dave, how about saying a prayer?
Sure, bud. Heavenly Father, we're in a tough spot. And if we've ever needed you, we need you now. God, I just pray that you would watch over the mine rescue teams as they work, and help them to work as safely and as quickly as possible to get us out, that we might see our families again. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Dave.
This is team 1. The water line's laid. The pump's ready to be energized when you say.
Okay, Jerry, go ahead and start pumping. Remember, you need to get 7 SCSRs to take with you when you're able to get through the water.
Okay. All right, guys, we're ready to pump.
I'm tired of sitting in here. Why don't we just put on the rescuers and go meet the team? I mean, if they're coming, they gotta be close by now.
Tim, if we open these doors and contaminate our shelter, we're not going to have a safe place to go. Leaving this shelter is a dangerous risk.
Dave's right, and we need to conserve our rescuers. We might need them later. We need to stay right here. And besides, I'm actually kind of comfortable.
James, I thought you was never getting in one of these.
Hey, who knew, man? I might get one for the backyard.
Hello, Command Center.
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, the water's down enough for us to get through it.
All right. Let's advance on toward the refuge chamber, and you guys be careful.
All right. Let's go, boys.
Man, it seems like we've been here for days.
Should be all right, man. Team's on the way. They're gonna get us.
I gotta be getting close.
Hey guys, hush, hush, hush.
What is it, Tim?
I believe it. Hey! Over here!
Hey!
Hey!
Listen, you got low O2. Is your inner door closed for your airlock?
Yeah, it's closed.
Come get us. Listen, do you have rescuers?
Yeah, we have rescuers.
We're gonna come in and purge this. Just hang tight. Don't come out.
Dave and his crew. They're all okay, and we're headed for the high top.
The Lord has answered our prayers. They're all safe.
In the mid-1990s, I went through a very similar situation to the video you've just seen. As a coal miner, we had a section in the mines 3,000 or 4,000 feet deep in the mines, and we cut into an old mines. It was a dotted line map beside us. The map was off 800 to 900 feet, and when we cut into it, it was a large inundation that came in over the miner. Everyone retreated back, and they all reacted properly with a lot of training. They knew to make their way out of the mines. We were mining down dip. The water was gathering quickly on the section. They made sure all the men were accounted for. They loaded up on the man trips and headed toward the surface, having no idea that we were going to hit that water, because our mine map we knew was very accurate. That was kept up weekly. But these dotted line maps is what happened was the problem. When we encountered that, it was off 800 and some feet. So as the water came out, once it accumulated on the section, and we made our way back in the mines to assess the damage and what we had to do to reestablish ventilation and to get back to the section. At this time, we encountered black damp. The water had displaced the bad air, the black damp in the old mines, and as the water came out, then the black damp followed behind it. So once again, we had a serious condition, life-threatening emergency situation we had to deal with. We had to establish our ventilation the right way to take care of the bad air. And as we did that, we worked our way back toward the section and realized that what had happened here was something that we didn't really realize that we would be facing, but we dealt with the inundation, which is the fear of it. As the men told me, they were able to load up and come, but then the next fear that we had to realize was the black damp that would be falling behind it, and we dealt with that as we went back. So it was a very serious emergency situation that can happen in any mine at any time, every day. As you can see from this video, guys, water inundation can occur at any time in any mines, in any section. And when you're on your section, you need to know what to do. You need to be well trained, as you've seen in this video. You need to know what to look for when you're on that section, and that begins by looking at your map of the section. Look when you're on the surface, know where your section is, know where the old mines are. Look for these dotted line maps, and if you don't understand them, talk to your supervisors about them. They can tell you where they are and what you're looking at. When you go underground, you need to be looking for signs that are there. That's what these quarterly drills are for, to prepare you and to train you. And these quarterly drills, guys, take them serious. Know what you need to do when this situation arises in your mines. Know the signs when you go underground. Look for the soft coal, for the soft ribs, the soft faces. Look for water that may be seeping out of the ribs or the faces or coming out of the roof. Any kind of change in conditions that's showing water that may be coming from an old mines that is close to you. Know that as this water runs down, that this black damp is going to displace the water, and then it's going to inundate into the section, and be prepared to don your SCSR or to maybe have to go into this shelter as we've seen here in this video. Know your training, know what to do when this occurs. This can happen to anyone at any time in any mines. If you're ever in an emergency situation where there's no way out, you need to lead the way, step up to the plate, and make the right choice. Sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do to stay safe.